Hi everyone, this is Katie Mukaddam.
And Mona Abdurrahim Santul.
We're here to talk to you today about Soul Glow from Mind Your Power.
A wonderful program about beauty. Beauty from the inside and the outside. Mind, body, soul beauty. And hello everyone, this is Mona with you from Mind Your Power. And today we have a very, very special guest. Today it's all about beauty, but not only beauty from the outside, because beauty is, well, it's outside, it's inside. So today with us here is Katie Mukaddam, who will introduce herself in a moment. She has worked in the field of energy, whether it's Reiki, whether it's pranic healing. She has also worked a lot with the mind, whether it's NLP, whether it's hypnosis. And she loves to combine everything for the case for beauty, for glowing from the inside, presenting a special program called Soul Glow, which she'll talk about everything in a moment. So make sure to stay tuned, make sure to stay with us, because this is really, really, really going to be for everyone who wants to glow, not only from the outside, but also from the inside. Katie, I'm very, very,
Hi,
very
Mona.
happy that you're here with me today. Katie, I already introduced a little bit of you, but I would like you to speak a little bit about the background and how you got to it. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Actually, Mona, any work that has to do with energy helps to develop and work on our inner selves. And not only this, it works on a cellular level where we can just regenerate and work on a deeper level where we can allow light. So I have combined both, which is the mind and the body, and of course the combination of body, mind, and soul, in order for us to be able to do not only deep cleansing but also to allow ourselves to glow and overcome any obstacle with full freedom.
That's actually beautiful. That freedom that you're talking about, that's something that a lot of people are looking for. Freedom from maybe some beliefs that we have, etc. Now, just for some people don't really have that background and don't really know why and how body affects mind and mind affects body. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I will just explain a little bit, which is, for example, stress. Stress can affect us on a very deep level where it affects the immune system. Like a lot of people that they're going through stress, they discover with time that they are going through lack of certain minerals or vitamins, or even having a very low blood pressure. So basically, the mind can give order to the body, and our body reacts to our thoughts. By working on the mind, by releasing all the blockages, by being free from any obstacles and any chains from the past, whether it's a relationship, whether it's an emotional problem, family problem, anything that has to do with our emotions, we be able to work on ourselves and reach the total freedom where we're fully free, fully confident, and full of light. So basically, this program is not only about working on ourselves, but also allowing more light, more clarity, and working on beauty and youth. Because stress really, I mean, you can say more than 99% of most of the illness comes from stress.
Wow, yes, yes. And you said something beautiful about, releasing that stress, etc. Now, I like to give a lot of tips. I like to give a lot away, and you have so much to give away in this field. So when it comes to, stress and reducing and releasing, etc., do you have a tip number one for everybody listening today?
Well, I can say one thing to everyone who's going through any kind of stress or emotional pain or sadness, whether it's a relationship, whatever it is, or even stress at work. I would recommend to write down the stress or any problem on a paper, and just, if it's possible, to throw it somewhere like far away in the ocean, or just burn that paper. On a psychological level, when we remove the tension, that's it's like a task on our in our head, and we place it on a paper. Subconsciously, we feel like we have replaced or moved the idea from being in the mind into a paper where you feel it's already kind of getting done.
I thank you so much for that tip. So you were saying write anything on a piece of paper, anything
Exactly.
off your mind, put it somewhere and throw it away.
Yeah, by writing Mona anything on a piece of paper, the mind already would feel like as if this problem is being delivered to something that's physical on a subconscious level. You would feel immediately, if you're doing this step, immediately a complete relief, as if things are getting done and it's outside your system. It's like electricity. Whatever we empower the mind, whatever we put more in the mind, whether it's good or bad, if it affects us on both sides. So whenever there is too many tasks on the mind or too many emotions that the brain is not being able to organize them, we start feeling stress. We start feeling tired, pressurized. By writing down and using this tip on a paper, it would allow us not only to get over it, but to be able to recover fast and to enjoy somehow certain kind of freedom. I will be talking a little bit about freedom later on because I would like to give more tips about how to feel more comfortable. But this tip is one of my best, to be honest, because this is what I usually do when I feel like the mind is overwhelmed.
Really interesting, and I love that you talk about freedom so much. It's actually when I think about how you design your sessions or your programs, usually you start by releasing, and this is what you just told us
Exactly.
about, by
Exactly.
releasing, by clearing, by cleansing, to then work with something else. Now, you mentioned the word electricity a minute ago. So, how does this, when I hear electricity and then I hear you working with energy and Reiki, it's somehow connected in my mind. Tell us a little bit more
It
about
is
that.
connected. Actually, everything is electricity. I mean, even part of the holistic healing that we're hearing a little bit about lately nowadays, it's connected to our electromagnetic field and how we produce. I mean, the mind is a producer, how we produce thoughts and emotions. And we have a certain frequency, like if we're feeling good, I mean, the entire aura, the entire system would be empowered with light and relaxation. And if we're feeling the opposite, this electricity would drop down because it has a different kind of frequency. Like we're shifting a radio from AM to FM, where you can get clarity. And let's say AM is where you were not being able to be connected. So our job is to be always on the FM mode, where you can be able not only to be connected, but also ready and full of power and mostly confidence.
Okay. So this is a key word, I think, here, that word confidence. Can you give a second tip dealing with confidence? How can people get more out of it and then also appear? Because it's all about the appearance here, also, right?
It is about the appearance, but I agree. And also, I can just share my experience with you as a consultant hypnotist working in this field. I've worked with a lot of models, with a lot of beautiful, beautiful people, but you can just realize one thing: the difference between someone who's outstanding and standing tall and a different of another person is never the looks. What differentiates a person from another is how they handle themselves and their body, how they're feeling confident. And confidence does not come with time. Confidence is something that you work on in order for you to be able to stop that self-saboteur in the mind, that thing that keeps telling you that you're not good enough, you're not being able to work on yourself enough, that block. And by using hypnosis and EFT, emotional freedom technique, which is one of the most amazing tools that I use in order for us to be able to overcome those blockages, we experience freedom. And freedom is, it is confidence, to be honest.
So you're talking about tools that will help you get to that freedom and also remove what you said, that self
Saboteur.
sabotaging,
Yeah.
limiting belief that
Limiting
we
belief.
have.
Yeah.
That's great. We will do a very short break, and after the break, we will come back with a very good tip for you on how you alone can remove these self saboteurs in your mind, and maybe
We all have
also
them. That's normal.
we
That's
all
part
have
of,
them.
yeah.
Yes, 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 and maybe how to gain that confidence that Katie was talking about. We are back and we're very, very excited, Katie, to hear your second tip. You were talking about confidence just before the break. What is that tip that you can give us to feel more beautiful from the inside?
Well, I can tell you one thing, that on a conscious level, we are aware of everything, but on a subconscious level, sometimes we do things and we feel things that it's kind of like we're shocked sometimes how do we react to things, and because we have no control on a subconscious level. I would say that to watch how we talk to ourselves, because we are listening. Like I would tell my client, watch out how you talk to yourself because you're the one who's listening. It is very important how we communicate with, because we're listening. Like any idea, any words we're saying to ourselves, I mean, our subconscious mind, our super subconscious mind is working and affirming these things to us. Like if you look at the mirror and you would see something that you don't like about yourself. I mean, normally we hear like a lot of people would say in front of their friends or family, look, I'm fat, I'm this, I'm that. And what we're doing in that case, we're affirming that this is what we're having. The good tip that I can give concerning limiting beliefs and confidence is to, when you there's something you don't like, just allow yourself to focus on the things and give more empowerment to the things you like in order for you to shift the focus on the stuff that we don't like. So by talking positively about ourselves and understanding that the subconscious mind is like a baby, and the more we feed the subconscious mind with the more we pamper ourselves, the more we feed our subconscious mind with beautiful, positive things that we like to see in ourselves. This is the key. This is the key to be able to connect more and overcome limiting beliefs, and at the same time reaching confidence in our fullest potential, if I wanted to say.
I love that. I love that. So, Katie, so from now on, I look in the mirror and I'll say, instead of saying, "Oh, I look tired today," I'll just say, "Wow, what an energetic day is in front of me," or
About this, I would say to focus on the things that you like more about yourself. Just to affirm more on the things you want, because I mean we are creators, we're very powerful, and we give power to everything we give our attention to. Like for example, if you look at the mirror, instead of saying tired, you would just look at something that you really like in yourself and empower that part, because that part is what you will take with you during your work, your through your relationships with wherever you go, you're having that part. And this is how sometimes, I mean, when we are in a room and someone enters, you can smell beyond how confident this person is.
yeah.
You can feel the confidence. It's because they know how to talk to themselves.
That's wonderful. That's a really, really great tip. So focus on the positives, not on the negatives that you see in yourself. And Katie, just curious now, you have worked you have some titles for women empowerment and
Yeah.
women beauty, and I read something about Miss Lebanon, etc.
Exactly.
Did you use all of these things that you are now giving to others
Well,
yourself?
actually, I work on myself every day, and there's nothing wrong with that, because, I mean, the same way we clean our house, the same way we shower every day, is the same way we have to maintain our brains. It's the same way we have to understand that we get overloaded with work, pressure, family, emotional problems, and so on. And we are responsible. We are 100% responsible of how we're taking care of ourselves. And I mean, I would just, it's not a tip, I would just recommend before sleeping, if we can just analyze during the day the things that we need to just wash them away and be able to allow ourselves daily to work on ourselves in order for us to be more light, more free, more confident. And we have the power to do that, whether we're using the tools of hypnosis, EFT, Reiki. Soul Glow is one of the programs that we use to empower beauty and allow the skin to rejuvenate and enjoy youth and happiness without blockages. or we can just use certain tips and be able to talk to ourselves. As I said, watch what you talk to yourself because you're the one who's listening.
Okay. So, Katie, back to my question. Is that your secret? Is this what you, just before we go into the break, is this what you did yourself? Is this talking to yourself?
Somehow
Is
I
this
manage
what
how
got you that title?
I think so. I think so.
Okay.
It's because just looking at how things are and how you handle yourself. Like I give the same tips that I'm working on them daily, day by day.
Okay, great, great. So, a short break, and then we'll be back for tip number 3. We are back. And Katie, you were talking about how our limiting beliefs can affect our confidence and then we
Exactly.
feel better from the outside. Now, we have people who work the other way around and they start with the outside, you know, a lot of Botox, a lot of surgeries, etc. What tip would you give these people?
That would be nice to work on the outside, but the way I see it, based on my experience and a lot of clients that I worked with, I mean, this is temporary. The real work has to be like, we cannot deny that we are body, mind, and soul. We cannot work only on the body and leave the mind and the soul. And like, it's not connected. Once it is connected, then we'll be able to target the full empowerment of beauty. We will be able to have more connection and more confidence. I mean, it's nice to just decorate a house from the outside, but from the inside, it's not clean and organized and decluttered from the emotions and blockages. You would only like it from outside, but once you step in, you wouldn't like the energy. And it's the same thing. The body is our temple. For sure, we need to take care of. But what we produce can affect. I mean, I have experienced a lot of clients coming to me. They did, let's say, a lot of Botox and fillers and took care of their outside beauty. But I mean, if they're going through an emotional phase, that will fade.
You mean they still don't feel good even after correcting some?
And not only confident. I mean,
Yes.
most women, they would follow beauty because they want to reach confidence. But the way to be done, it's not from outside to inside. It's from inside to outside.
Katie, just curious, you just said the word women. Do you also have men in your clients? Do you
Actually,
all work with men?
I do. Of course, I do. And I mean, we all go through a lot of problems and emotions, and that's normal. As long as we are alive, we are equipped to be affected by all effects. There is no difference between men and women. And also, this beautiful soul glow. I don't know the product, the soul glow course.
Yes.
It's amazing. It's for men and women because that would give them confidence, freedom, and allow them to overcome all obstacles. So there's no difference between men and women when it comes to beauty and inner beauty and feeling comfortable in your own skin.
So tell me a little bit. How do you go about? If I wanted to take that program with you, what do you start with? What do you do first?
First of all, we get to the core. We target, we identify the problem, we identify what's going on, we identify exactly like what are we doing. I mean, since morning when we were driving our car, we're going to work or we're coming back to sleep, we are taking with us our thoughts, our emotions, and they're not going away or running away. So basically, we target what's going on inside that mind and we allow total cleansing. Then we work on empowerment, enlightenment, and there's a lot of attunement that we do during the work, including holistic healing and coaching and counseling, in order for us to reach a beautiful phase of transformation. I mean, if we look before and after, it's just amazing.
When you talk about enlightenment and attunement and everything, a lot of people who are familiar with Reiki, etc., will know what you're talking about. Now, for those who don't, and you say there is a huge difference, can you tell us an example of how do people feel before and after? What happens?
I mean, like before and after, I can just tell you that after the program, the result, I mean, the person can experience them by themselves because they can look back and see the improvement that they did starting from the program and where they reached.
So do you actually see it in a face of someone?
Not only you can see it, Not only you can see the glow because there's no blockages, the full freedom is there, and we work on endorphins and we work on empowering. And when the serotonin is high and everything is I mean, it's there. Nothing is stopping you from producing the good hormones in your body. There's no way you cannot reach your full potential and the total glow, the ultimate glow, if I wanted to put it this way.
And for that ultimate glow, just after the break, I want that one last tip for today, that third tip for how to reach that, how to create these, what you were talking about, endorphins and that happiness from inside, how to actually change even without seeing you. So after the break, I'm very curious to see what you say. Okay, Katie. So, what did you were talking about endorphins, about serotonin, and this is everything that we usually look for in pills sometimes. What is it, and how can we reach that?
It's very simple. I will just give a small example. Like most of us, when we're sleeping, sometimes we kind of have certain dreams, and according our dreams, either we wake up happy, feeling content, or we wake up feeling uncomfortable. I mean, all of us will have experienced this, and this is because the mind cannot differentiate between reality and illusion. And the way we can handle ourselves is just by working on ourselves in a way where we allow ourselves to feel happy, like smiling, for example. I don't know if you heard of laughter yoga. Some of the practitioners, yeah.
Of course. It's so popular nowadays.
Yeah.
Even in the corporate world, people are using laughter yoga. Isn't that amazing?
It is because actually the mind cannot tell between the difference between reality and illusion, as I said. So laughter yoga, it's like a program where you can just pretend laughing because the mind would believe that you're laughing and then start producing the good serotonin and endorphins and the happy hormones in order. And it's true, they're using it in big companies and working with people to overcome stress from work and anger and so on by reprogramming the mind. So they did a lot of studies and they realized the mind cannot tell the difference. I mean, if you pretend to be smiling, even if you're sitting alone in a room and smiling, eventually you're going to feel good after 10 minutes. Because the mind cannot tell the difference. I mean, it would work according what's going on.
Yeah.
So this is one of the small, easiest tips is to smile maybe for 5 minutes a day in order for you to allow that glow. And as I said, with Soul Glow, it's amazing because not only we clear up all the baggages from the past and what we've been holding and the emotions and the attachment and cords, family issues, relationship issues, but also we get clear, fresh, ready, and start. It's like a transformational phase where we reach our full potential with beautiful, I mean, love, that love for life where you can be able to work on yourself more and just be able to be fully confident.
Right, right. I love it. I already love that program. So you said you cleanse and then you clear and then you transform and what comes to my mind is also something where
And the
people
result
say
is pure beauty, Mona.
it's pure beauty. And people say you can see the beauty in the eyes, right? How the eyes look, and that's
The eyes are the mirror of what's inside.
Okay,
I mean, if we're like, you can tell if you're passing by, if someone is sad or depressed, you can feel it. I mean, you don't need to be an expert. You can pass by someone, look at someone, the body language, the way they're holding themselves, you can tell if they're happy or not. And confidence is a cover of a happy person. That's it.
Right.
Because when someone is happy, they're fully confident. I mean, you cannot see someone that's happy and you cannot feel that like they're not confident. They're not having any blockages. Blockages will, it's like they're stopping us from being who we are. And I mean, using this program and the tips that we just spoke about will allow us to reach a place where we feel fully free.
Yeah, and that was really something that I loved what you said now, and we can maybe end with that. Really being who you are, right? Believing that who we are is a beautiful
and taking
person.
responsibility to clear. This is important
Okay,
also, Mona,
yes.
because we are responsible. No one is gonna come and do this for us.
Right, right. So, of course, when people come to you, when clients come to you, you help them. And you already mentioned Reiki, you mentioned EFT, you mentioned hypnosis. So you use all of
Soul
this
Glow
together.
attunement also as well. It's for beauty and youth.
attunement
It's
for
part of holistic healing that can help us also to raise our vibrations.
Okay, so you work with all of that combined to help that person get that, be himself, like
on a
you
body,
said.
mind, and soul level.
Wonderful, wonderful. I love it. And of course, like you said, and that's really, really important, maybe the last tip, people have to be responsible
Of
and
course.
for it and
No one is
want
going.
it.
No one is
Yes.
going to do that for us
Yes.
unless we have the will to do the change and say, yes, I'm ready. Just give me what you have. Give me the tools. Show me where to be, where to like stand out, and just be kids again.
Be kids again, be
Yeah.
you again. I love that. Katie Mukaddam was with us today. You
Thank
can
you so
reach
much,
her. Thank you very much, Katie, for your wonderful tips. You can reach her under mindyourpower.org. See about her, read about her, and about her program. Thank you very much for listening.